Well, well, well. Another day of Cowboys news. Stephen Jones goes crazy on Trayvon Diggs. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. And we live. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to the congregation. We're going to talk Cowboys today. We got another great show. Let's get it. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy hitters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this live stream, if you like my videos, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. We have a great show today, and it is full of fireworks because Stephen Jones goes demon mode on Trayvon Diggs again. Demon mode. I'm telling you. And Stephen Jones ain't holding no punches back in this interview. Love it, like it, or hate it, Stephen Jones is telling it like it is. This is our show lineup for the day. We're going to start it out with this Stephen Jones press conference. Brian Schottenheimer has another press conference. We're going to talk about Nate Thomas. Nate Thomas, I got to be honest with you, I didn't even know he was balling like this. Nate Thomas. Player interviews. There should be player interviews right about now, DallasCowboys.com YouTube page. We're going to look at whatever else the latest news is. And then, you know your boy got you. I got y'all the best plays again. The best plays again on this Wednesday. I don't know what. Day 10, somewhere in there, day 10 of day 8, 9, or 10 of the Cowboys practices. Nevertheless, I got all the best plays in one place, so you don't have to go look for them again. So, Stephen's presser, Shotty's presser, Nate Thomas, player interviews, latest news, best plays on next. Let's get it. All right, let's go. Let's get a quick roll call in. And then we're going to get this thing started. Let's get us some roll call music. Y'all know how we do it. Oh, yeah. Let's go. John Jones, what up? He said, G Money, we living in a New Jack City. Let's go. Dominic Pittman, what up with you? Robert Dudley in the crib. What's up? My brother, Roger Terrell in Flow Rider. What's going on? Ice Cold Cowboy. And he cold too, I'm telling y'all. Daniel Lim, my right hand man, what up? Derek G in the crib. What's going on? I'm with you. I've been saying 2026 is the Super Bowl, but we're gonna show some flashes this season. J Law, what up? He said, J Lou, Tyler, Texas in the crib. What up? Anytime you say Cujo, I already know what it is. Cap Boy, he said he stopped hurting the boys. He said waiting entirely too long on the contract. He is causing the team money and not the players. Hey, I'm gonna let him tell you today. I'm gonna let him tell you. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents when we get there. Appreciate you, Tyler, Texas fam. Miss Matrix in the crib, DC4L. 5 points of the star. He said, G, talk your ish. What's going on with you? Let's go. Yeah, I'm with you. I see you too, J. Lou. We need that one take bad. All right, let's go. John Henry in the crib. He said, let's go Cowboys. Ron Hanna, what's going on? He said, let's get it. That was the story. Ron Hanna, the story keeps getting crazier, man. Hey, you know what? Ron, he's starting to sound like somebody Cowboys might pick up. I'm telling us. Israel Dobson, what up with you? Ty Howard in the crib. Man, we about to hit them facts. Dustin Roberts in here. What's going on? Gregory Davis. Brian Davis, what's going on? He said more Jones Bell. Let's go. The Queen, my Cowboy sister, what's going on? TME greatness in the crib. Davion Wallace, what up with you? What up, G and Peeps, DC4L in Oxnard, California, in Oxnard on Sunday. Let's get it. Hey, what's going on? All right, we about to get this thing started. What up, CB? Aaron Botley in the crib. 555 K-Lex, what up? Freddie Mungia, what's going on, man? Preseason, I'm telling you, I am so ready. I am so ready for the preseason. Brian Worley in the crib. Hallelujah. What's going on? All right, let's get this thing started. Kitty boy, what up, man? Good to see you back in the building. All right, let's go. We'll greet everybody. We'll greet some more folks as they come in, but let's get this thing started. All right. Now, I don't know where y'all are on this thing with Stephen Jones, but y'all already kind of know where I am on this. C-Base in the crib. I can't go without greeting C-Base. What up with you? Marianne Dillard in the crib. What's going on? Oh, Marlon Dillard. What's going on? He said, like and subscribe to the channel. I agree with you. I can't help but agree. Katharina Kiss. What's going on? Good to see you. Warren Duncan in the crib. What up? In the house from San Francisco. Now, y'all know where I am on this. I don't like talking bad about Jerry and Steven. And the reason why I don't like talking bad about Jerry and Steven, one, I don't like the negativity it brings to the team. Number two, it's like we disregard anything they do good because they won't do the one thing, or maybe they won't do the couple of things that we want them to do. But where I am on this thing with Stephen Jones, I'm kind of like, with the Trayvon Diggs stuff, I understand. With the Micah Parsons stuff, I think there's some stuff that we don't know. And I can tell you Stephen Jones is saying as much. And Micah Parsons and his agent are playing, they playing a little bit of the game too. Y'all don't think that Micah Parsons and his agent is not without blame too. And I'm not going 50-50 on the blame. I'm going something like 25-75 on the blame. I'm blaming 75% of this on the Joneses. Trying to negotiate with Michael without his agent. I'm blaming some of this on Michael because Michael shouldn't have been talking crazy. Because you could tell he was talking to the Joneses without his agent. No difference between 30 and 40 million. Jerry's my guy. You know what they say about the highest paid player. That sounded like Jerry Jones talked to me. Meanwhile, Jerry has only persisted to do everything Michael said he couldn't do. Continued to put players around Dak Prescott being the highest paid player in the league. Jerry has continued to do it now. Continued to do it. Signed Oso Digizua. Signed Jake Ferguson. Gonna sign Michael Parsons. Brought in George Pickens. I'm telling you they're gonna sign George Pickens. Bringing in all these free agents. The Cowboys are doing exactly what Michael was saying at first they couldn't do. And now Michael's on the other side of this because now I can tell Michael's been talking to his agent. This is a mess. I'm not getting involved with it because this is another man's pockets. I'm just not getting involved with it. But I am saying I can understand where Stephen Jones is coming with some of this stuff. Stephen Jones is very perturbed. And I'm telling you, he's very perturbed in Micah, and in particular, he's very perturbed in Micah's agent. And this is why. This could be a blessing in disguise. This is the reason why. Watch how many of these players the Cowboys get signed. I got a strange feeling it's going to be Ty Smith, Deron Bland, Brandon Aubrey. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys are about to get some deals done. I have a strange feeling. They're going to knock out probably 2 to 3 deals before they do Micah Parsons. Stephen and Jerry seem to be taking a stand against Micah Parsons' agent. I don't think it's going to work. But I guess in the meanwhile, they're going to make Micah Parsons wait. And so let's get into this thing with Stephen Jones. And then I'm going to come back and do some more greeting. I see some more of the family coming in. But this thing, man, this thing with Stephen Jones is bonkers. Man, this man went straight demon mode. Stephen Jones was not holding back as it applies especially to Trayvon Diggs. Straight demon mode. Check this out.
We're live on 105.3 The Fan, and Stephen Jones sitting down now, putting the headset on in the Wild Fork Foods hot seat, wildforkfoods.com, elite game day grilling favorites. And it's great to see you. How the heck are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Doing awesome. Off-day business. What's going on back there?
Yeah, just normal course of business, catching up on some meetings internally with
this was actually yesterday.
With Coach Shotty and Will and Jerry and myself, and typical off day.
Right on. Well, it's been very busy, and there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. But, you know, what I really wanted to ask you is, have agents figured out your guys' pattern, and are they using it against you?
Now, I'm hoping Skeptical Fan, I wish Skeptical Fan was on, because I'm telling you right now, this dude right here, boy, he don't hold back on Stephen Jones. Boy, he asking the hardcore questions.
I don't think so. I mean, I feel comfortable. I mean, we've we got Dak signed, we got CD signed, we got Jake Ferguson signed early, we got Osa signed. Every timing's different, every negotiation's different.
Well, I guess what I was
so I don't think there's necessarily a any type of thing to figure out here.
Okay, so from my perspective, if you want to go early and you take less than what you would get in free agency, you guys are very willing to do those deals. And it's been that way for a while.
Sure.
But if it's a really great player and they want to wait, I don't think they have any fear that you guys will actually move on.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's to each his own. And certainly, like I said, we've had two, if you will, great players, getting paid highest at their position when we did the deal in Dak and CD, and we decided we wanted to do deals with both of them. And then obviously we're in the middle of another, high-profile player, but, each one of them is different in my mind.
Okay, all right, case-by-case basis, I can definitely understand that. From poker, and I'm a poker player, if the table knows your pattern, it's time to change the pattern.
Yeah, you and I'll just have to agree to disagree. I don't think there's a pattern here. How many ways do you want me to say it?
Well, I guess 3 is good enough.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so then my next question, just team building.
Now, he's really hitting Steven with some hard questions. This pattern of not paying your players on time. And, with CeeDee Lamb, it was just more of, I'm just telling you what I think happened with CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys, to me, wanted to pay CeeDee Lamb a certain amount of money. They wanted him to be top 3 paid. And they waited until everybody got paid, and then they paid him. I don't understand. I think they do it on purpose. I don't think they're doing this on accident. Dak Prescott, for whatever reason, they waited until the last moment. I think they did try to use Trey Lance to squeeze him a little bit. Didn't work. Paid him the first game of the season. And, of course, they did Dak. I'm telling you, they did Dak to me way worse than they did Michael Parsons, because let me tell you something. If the Cowboys did to Michael Parsons what they did to Dak Prescott, I don't think Michael Parsons would do it. Dak Prescott bet on himself, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 2 franchise tags. Man, I don't believe Michael Parsons would play on 2 franchise tags. I just don't believe he would do it. But again, maybe he would. But I don't think this is the same. That's all I'm saying about Michael Parsons. I don't think this is the same. Because those 2 guys were not doing stuff with apart from their agent. And seemingly working out deals with Jerry and Steven. This don't feel the same to me. This feels like Steven and Jerry are mad at Michael Parsons and his agent. They're mad at Micah because they thought they had a deal with Micah. Micah takes it back to his agent, and his agent says no. And so this is why I feel like this is different, though. And we're saying this the same, but this is not the same. And Stephen Jones, I mean, if y'all not paying attention, boy, Stephen Jones, boy, this man taking hit. Boy, this man taking some hard. Now, if you want to talk about taking some swipes, these are swipes. This man said, we got 2 great players signed. He said, I'm comfortable where we are. This man is basically saying, we're comfortable because we got Micah Parsons under contract. That's what he's saying. Micah Parsons isn't comfortable. I think Micah Parsons wants to be out there. And I do think in the back of Micah Parsons' mind, he believes that this is not going to carry over into the season. But then there's this one part that may be in there saying, man, what if this do carry over into the season? What am I going to do? I mean, Stephen Jones him and Jerry seem dug in, but they always seem dug in, and then they wind up caving in.
Wise is why not? I mean, with all the good players on the team, why not pick one of these years to say, let's throw another $30 million at this thing and shore up all of our weaknesses and really go for it.
Right.
I think the teams in today's NFL that are winning it don't have the holes that maybe they did in the 2000s. Like, there were a bunch of wild card teams getting it done, but I don't think wild card teams are getting it done anymore, Stephen.
Sure. I think, the question is, when you talk about $20 or $30 million, the question is, does it go to Jake Ferguson and any other guys that we want to sign?
True.
Versus what might be available out there, and we make a
sign
decision
your
that
own?
we want to go internally versus externally. That's a decision that we have to make. And at the end of the day, over the course of a 5-year period, every team that spends to the cap like we do is going to spend the same amount of money. Can you push more into 1 year and leverage out and push out? Of course you can. But over the course of a 5-year period, every team, there's a salary cap, and every team's going to spend to it.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think Philadelphia is really an outlier, so I wouldn't ask you to do something like that. But
right.
Are you guys resistant to a yo-yo of, like, we're going to spend a bunch here, we're going to clear dead money and get a good draft pick? Does that strategy not make sense?
Well, it can in the right situation. I just think I don't think there's very many teams out there that are one player away. And, I think you have to manage your team. You have to strategize on what you want to put together. And, we feel like we've checked a lot of boxes in terms of internally thinking that we have, filled the holes that we need to fill to be a great football team.
Now, let me interject, and then I'm going to come to the comments, and y'all tell me what y'all think. This is the very reason why I don't buy into all of the Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones hate. Because Stephen Jones, whether people are giving him credit or not, Stephen Jones is making a very good point. See, when you get mad because they won't sign Micah Parsons right now, you disregard the fact of everything the Cowboys did in free agency. Anybody paid attention to how Kyrie Elam is playing in training camp? Nobody want to talk about Kyrie Elam. That the Cowboys brought this dude in and he balling. They brought in Perion Winfrey. News out of camp. Perion Winfrey is balling. The Cowboys brought in these multiple players like Peyton Turner. All these guys the Cowboys have brought in. We look at the draft they had. It is insane the Cowboys got Donovan Ezraku in the second round. It is utterly ridiculous. People are going to look back on this draft and go, how in the world did we pass up on Donovan Ezraku? The Cowboys. And I think we're going to be looking down the road. Savon Revel Jr. We're going to be looking down the road saying Tyler Booker. We're going to be looking down the road saying Jay Toya. We're going to be looking down the road talking about these moves. And I'm telling you, the Cowboys signed Oso Digizua early. The Cowboys signed Jake Ferguson early. Got both of them to where Ferguson is in the top 10, but I don't even think Oso Digizua is outside the top 10. Oh, and hold on a second. We're not going to give him credit for bringing in George Pickens. George Pickens is going to turn out to be the move of 2025. I can't think of a move any team has made that's better than George Pickens. George Pickens, to me, is the Saquon Barkley move. And And I don't know if it's quite the Saquon Barkley move because the Philadelphia Eagles had a lot of pieces in place. Saquon Barkley was the over-the-top piece. But I'll say this, while he said that there's not many teams that's one player away, I'm going to tell you this, Cowboys are getting close. Because George Pickens is that kind of player that makes such a difference on your team. You may look at the end and go, this dude was the one player that really got us over the hump, that got us that playoff win, that second playoff win, got us close to the dance. He could be that player. And I believe the Cowboys are going to do everything they can do because everything they're doing to me is leading not just to the road of Michael Parsons being signed, it's leading to the road that George Pickens is going to be signed. I don't think George Pickens is leaving the Cowboys. I think they're going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him more than CD, but I'm not going to be shocked if they give him $25 a year. I will not be shocked. I will not be shocked. And so again, when you start, because this guy just need to come out and say, because I'm talking about Michael Parsons. I'm talking about Michael Parsons because the Cowboys have actually done a pretty good job of putting together the team, and it's not the team it's going to be next year, but they're getting there. Now, he's talking about throwing an extra 20 or 30 million. My question would be, who is that player? Because the Cowboys would be dumb to throw out $30 million knowing you got to sign Ty Smith. I'm not giving nobody $30 million until I pay Ty Smith, Deron Bland, Brandon Aubrey. What player are you bringing in you're going to pay 20 or 30 million to? Because the only player I'm even interested in paying right now, other than those guys already that we've drafted, is George Pickens. Who else am I bringing in? Now, if I'm going to bring in a DJ Reader type player, and I still think the Cowboys are going to bring in additional help. So if we're talking about those types of players, I believe the Cowboys are waiting on more tea leaves to drop or the other shoe to drop because teams are going to start cutting players in about another 2 to 3 weeks. I think the Cowboys are going to try to play it close to the vest, get past the official, I forget what they even play now. Los Angeles, what the heck do the Rams play now? When they get done with the Rams, when they get done with the official Rams preseason, I think you'll see more movement from the Cowboys. But man, let's be honest. This is why I don't get in this stuff, because short of Michael Parsons, what have they done wrong? Y'all tell me. I'm going to come to the chat, then we're going to get back to Stephen Jones. Short of Michael Parsons, where everybody's in their feelings about Michael Parsons, what have the Cowboys done wrong? Explain it to me. Because every move they've made almost, who's complained? The Cowboys have been making great moves. And it's like people are always looking for a reason to say, same old Cowboys. I'm not giving it to you. This is not the same old Cowboys to me. I'm not giving that to nobody. This team has been moving way different. The front office has been moving way different. I saw somebody post on X today. They said, I can't believe we got George Pickens. Believe it. Believe it. The Cowboys not only have George Pickens, I believe they're going to be able to sign George Pickens. And the reason why I don't think it's going to be hard to sign George Pickens, because I don't believe that George Pickens is going to try to make more than CeeDee Lamb. I don't think he's going to try to do that. He's going to be close, but I don't think he's going to make more than CeeDee Lamb. And I think that when it's time to sign him, he's going to realize, man, why would I go somewhere else? This is the perfect situation. This is not only the perfect situation, the cost of living in Texas versus anywhere else. Man, Texas is a magnificent place to live. Why would you go somewhere else? Why would you go somewhere else and make an extra $3 or $4 million only for that to be taken away in taxes? Why would you do that? We have no state taxes. Why would you do that? See, a lot of people didn't even catch that Stephen Jones said that CeeDee Lamb was the highest paid in his position. He's actually not, but he probably is. Because in Minnesota, Justin Jefferson has not only income tax, but state income tax. And once you probably figure in the state income tax, the income tax, the cost of living out there in Minnesota, CeeDee Lamb is making more than Justin Jefferson. I assure you he's probably making more than him based on living here, living there. And again, this is why I don't get into this, because this guy, the real deal is, he's really talking about the fact that the Cowboys haven't signed Micah Parsons. I'm not going to nullify everything the Cowboys have done and say they're the same old Cowboys because they haven't signed Micah Parsons. That deal will get worked out. But everything the Cowboys have done, I'm sorry, from the hiring of the coach to the hiring of the coaching staff, tell me what they've done wrong. Tell me, other than Micah Parsons, what Jerry and Steven have done wrong. Tell me. David J. in the crib, appreciate you. Appreciate that $5 super chat. He said, what up, G? I think they are seriously thinking about trading Parsons. I also think that Mozzie's done. Oh, yeah. Now, I think they're going to keep Mozzie for the rest of the year. I've been seeing what people talking about he's going to be cut. I don't think the Cowboys are cutting. If anything, the Cowboys may see if there's somebody who may want to trade for Mozzie if they were going to get rid of him. Don't think they're going to cut him. But, Parsons, oh, man, I'm struggling. I don't think they're considering trading him. If they are, I'm telling you this, they definitely keeping that very close. They ain't going to tell too many people that. Because we got people that'll go crazy if they were to trade Micah Parsons. But again, this is where I am. They have done so. Tell me what they've done wrong. Tell me what they've done wrong. Other than the Micah Parsons contract. Tell me. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You gotta sometimes, this is why I say we gotta stop. I think sometimes we follow what media people are thinking and saying and putting out. I think sometimes we're even, without really processing something, sometimes I think what content creators say. I'm a content creator myself, but I encourage you to, hey, you're entitled to your own opinion and think for yourself. What have they done wrong other than Micah Parsons? The Cowboys have been stellar in everything they've done. And some of us have probably got a mixed bag going with Trayvon Diggs. But I don't even think what the Trayvon Diggs stuff, I'll be honest with you, I'm on board with that. Trayvon Diggs been tripping up in here. Straight tripping. And so when it comes to the Trayvon Diggs stuff, I ain't even tripping on that. Trayvon Diggs is for me, Trayvon Diggs is out of pocket, man. That's why I am with Trayvon Diggs. Bama boy, what up? He said, G, Steven has said it's going into the language on players' contracts. Straight up, that they have to rehab at the start. We're going to check that out in just a moment. He said it's their investment. We don't know if a player is going 100% on their own. I applaud Cowboy. Yes, sir. Shots fired, Bama boy. Shots fired, brother. Straight up. I'm in total agreement with that. I'm in total agreement with it. I just don't see no problem with it. I don't see no problem with it. Ron Hanna said, man, the longer this drags on, the more our defense can come to build that chemistry you need to be a top defense. Ron Hanna, I agree with you on that part. Unfortunately, it's a football business. It sucks. It's a football business. It's a football business. When you want to get the money that he wants, remember what Steven said just the other day. He got to want to be signed. Shots fired. Got to want to be signed. That's what he's saying. Hey, bro, you got to come to the table and give us something too. That's what he's saying. And you watch what the Cowboys do. They're going to continue to try to sign other players. Hallelujah said, G. Brian been saying this all year, maybe even last year. He just hitting Steven smack in the face with it. Watch this, though. Watch Brian Broaddus. Yeah, Steven been saying it all year, but Brian Broaddus is on the other side of this. Because all they're talking about is Micah Parsons. Again, I challenge anybody. Tell me what they've done wrong other than Micah Parsons. And I think this thing with Micah Parsons is just not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same as Dak Prescott, and it's not the same as CeeDee Lamb. It's not. Jerry, what are going on? Jared Thomas, #1 Dak Prescott fan. He said Eagle fans at YouTube comment sections are now making excuses for Hurts training camp turnovers, but were the same ones ripping Dak 4 years ago. It's always a double standard. I'm surprised they're not talking about Dak this year. This dude, Kyrie Elam, been putting a hurt on Dak Prescott and everybody else too. Freddie said, I mentioned it once, that if you diss the boss, you might be a Jet soon. Man, I'm telling us. I'm just telling us. In the grand scheme of things, the only thing we're talking about is Micah Parsons. Because we have literally been applauding every move the Cowboys have made. Maybe minus Christian Matthew. But we've been applauding every move they've been making. It's the only one is Micah Parsons. And again, you got to think about how these other players are getting signed. They're not trying to be the highest paid non-quarterback ever. They're not trying to be the #1 paid player in their position. You're going to find out a lot of them are not going to try to do that. Deron Bland's not going to do that. Deron Bland is probably going to get the Trayvon Diggs contract, maybe a tinge more. That's not even top 5 no more. That's not even top 5 paid. The Cowboys are being smart with Deron Bland. Hey, man, sign this dude before he come and ball out. Don't let him ball out and then you pay him. Pay him now. Micah Parsons is at the point it is what it is. Austin said until this player misses a game, this is the Jones script. This Micah contract has generated 100 more Cowboys. Oh, television, not included radio podcast. Okay, let's get back to the interview, y'all, because this is exactly what this guy gonna say, man. This guy's exactly gonna say. Let me read a couple more because I asked y'all a question. Let me see if anybody's answering it. Because at the end of the day, I just don't see anything the Cowboys are doing wrong other than everybody pointing out Micah Parsons. Because other than that, man, the Cowboys have been doing great. Great. I'm telling you, Tony the Tiger, great. They have been doing great, straight up. Let me read these last few here. Let me get down to the bottom. Let me read my man Mike McCain. He said, I'm a Cowboys fan first and foremost. Not going to get twisted over Micah Parsons' contract. Sign him okay or trade him Herschel Walker style. Mike McCain, find them shots. Ron Hanna said it's a headache to me that's constantly being talked about like he's a team. People, there's no player on this team that can't be replaced. Straight up. Straight up. Yeah. I just don't see I just don't see anything that they've done wrong other than the Micah Parsons thing. And even that is questionable just based on what's been going on. But let's check out the rest of Steve Jones, because this ain't even the good part, boy. Steve Jones about to go nuclear on Trayvon Diggs when his name brought up. But this dude right here, I give him credit. You right. He been talking this junk the whole off season. He's even talked to the last season. So now he's gonna ask. Now he's getting to ask Stephen Jones everything he's been wanting to ask him, and Stephen Jones ain't backing down either.
Okay, and I appreciate you answering these questions. I'm not trying to ambush you.
You're not.
Okay, so like during the season or around the calendar, we'll be having these conversations, and there's these questions that pop up, and I feel like, to be fair to you, I should give you a chance to answer the questions here on the show.
Sure.
Because I don't want to be talking bad about you behind your back and then not. But another thing
You
I
wouldn't
had
do that, would you?
no, maybe in the name of entertainment.
Yeah, he would.
Hey, and
Yeah, he
I
does.
need to give you and hand Jerry your props for letting us cook.
Yes.
You know, it's rare to find a flagship radio station that can share honest opinions as much as you guys give us the freedom to at the fan.
Sure.
So thank you for that. Okay, so then my third question here is, I have a theory that maybe you guys drag out the deals
Here it is.
to get engagement from the media. And it's like the best $2 million you can spend having to give Dak a few more.
Well, let's just start off. We don't agree on that. We don't drag deals out. We do deals when there's an opportunity to do a deal. And certainly no one knows what goes on internally with a particular negotiation. But, you know, sometimes agents and players aren't ready to pull the trigger till they see other cards play. Mm-hmm. And what we're not going to do is go out and, you know, do something that's not responsible in terms of, you know, just in the name of getting a deal done 1 month earlier. Go do it and pay the guy another $5 million of your cap space.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they're going to do with one Micah Parsons. It's going to be more than an extra $5 million. This is the only one right here. And again, I think they're still ticked at Micah because I think they thought they had something in principle.
And especially when you're dealing, in our particular case, you know, internally with guys that are homegrown here, and we feel like they want to be here. I always felt like Dak wanted to be here. I always felt like CD wanted to be here.
Yeah. You know, I guess there's so much information that's out there. Adam Schefter was reporting, you know, this morning. He was talking about maybe Micah felt like a deal was close, and maybe you guys felt like a deal was close. I think that's what Adam Schefter said this morning. And then the progress stopped, and Micah's like, well, call me, right? And I'm like, well, why would they not just get this thing done if Micah really wants to be here? And I guess one is that he would have to take significantly less than market value for you guys to want to do that contract with him now. And the other would be, I mean, it is probably tens of millions of dollars in free brand awareness.
A lot of the things you just said are mostly inaccurate.
Okay. How so?
I'm not going to get into the details of a negotiation, but I'm just saying 90% of what you just said is inaccurate.
See, I'm telling you this right here, this part right here, Stephen Jones keeps alluding to. I think there's a little bit more to this than Micah Parsons is saying. You know, Micah Parsons is just making this sound like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. My agents reached out to them and everything is kosher. The deal is this and this and this. And they're saying, no, this ain't quite. Stephen don't want to divulge the details. But I'm sure whatever they're sending over, the Cowboys at this point in time are like, oh, heck no. And that's why I say I just don't think this is that. I don't think it's the Dak and the CD thing. I don't. I think Micah Parsons broached an area of where those two players didn't, where his deal probably wouldn't have been delayed. It got delayed. Because y'all still got to tell me, I don't hear nobody hardly harping on it no more, but I'm going to keep it in people's memory until he gets signed. He was the one who said there's no difference between 30 and 40 million, and he didn't have to be the highest paid player. It's amazing how that tune has changed.
All right, that's fair. It's Stephen Jones here with you in the G-Bag Nation. Thank you for answering those questions.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Stephen, I was going to ask you about, we had George Pickens on yesterday, and it was really a pleasure to get to talk with him. The decision to go out and make that deal, or to go out and make that trade, how did that all come about to target that particular player and how it got you to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously getting a receiver, a number 1A, 1, 2, 1, you know, whatever you want to characterize a great receiver as, obviously was a priority in the draft. Unfortunately, it did. You know, the pieces didn't fall our way.
Sure.
See, this is the point that a lot of people don't get. Tyler Booker was not the Cowboys' first pick. He wasn't their first choice. They were trying to get the receiver out of Arizona. I believe that's who they wanted. Which I'm glad they wound up with George Pickens, because I think George Pickens is better than him. Of course he's better than him, especially where he is in his career. I would rather have George Pickens, a seasoned veteran, savvy, all the things that we're talking. I would rather have had George Pickens, so I'm glad it worked out the way that it worked out. But Booker wouldn't have been here had the kid from Arizona not been gone, because it seems to me it's clear when all these other wide receivers were left on the board they could have got, the Cowboys chose to get Booker. So that tells me that Ted McMillan was the only one, I think, was that his name? Tedera McMillan? Ted McMillan was the only one they really classified that they classified as a number 1 draft pick. Everybody else, no. They were willing to try to get them further down the line. And where they were willing to pick those receivers, they were gone. And so Cowboys didn't wind up getting them. But I'm glad the way everything turned out the way it did. I'm glad we got Tyler Booker. Glad we got Ezra Rocco. Glad we got Savon Revel Jr. because all of this led to the Cowboys being able to circle the block, especially after the information they got on George Pickens. They were able to circle the block and get George Pickens.
The guys we were interested in would go, before we were ready, or we didn't think at the time we were picking the receivers that were on the board were worthy or did what we needed them to do. So, we really felt like we needed, that was still a glaring need for us is to go find that George Pickens type receiver. And, the great news is it came together for us.
Yep.
And we were able to make that deal. And certainly if we had, picked a receiver early in the draft and one would have fallen to us, then we probably wouldn't have been as interested in doing something like the George Pickens deal.
Well, the Pickens trade, Elam, some of the other signings, they were former high draft picks. So how much into that are you going back to your old notes, what you thought of them coming out of the draft? And then at what point into a player's pro career does that maybe not hold as much weight because you've got to reevaluate them as a pro versus what you thought coming out of school?
Yeah, we use both. We get all the information we can gather. Obviously, we go back to our original scouting reports on the player, his football character, all the things that we look into. And then we put the pro grade on him as well, and then we factor that in. I mean, we've had success with this. I mean, obviously we had a real high grade on Hooker, and Hooker's been a great player for us in terms of, what he's done for us. When we have guys that we had first-round grades on, we've had a lot of confidence in the way we've drafted and have success in that draft room. And so we do go back to that. But certainly we also put a heavy portion of the grade, if you will, on his pro grade and how he's played. And, some of these guys, obviously, you're getting them for a lot less because, they didn't work out with that particular team.
Now, how much of a relief was it yesterday to get that Guyton news?
Oh, whew. I mean, we spent a half a day just in the tank. I mean, it really was a tough situation. It just, it shows you how fragile this game is, and he's having a hell of a camp. And, I'll say this, Dr. Cooper's pretty accurate at diagnosing those, and he doesn't miss many of them. But he was smiling ear to ear when he got to call us and say, I was wrong on this one. It's intact. So, it was a huge, huge plus, not only for obviously us, but just the organization, the coaching staff smiling ear to ear today. It's just because he was making really great progress out there, and he'll continue to do that. I think he's certainly learned a lot, matured a lot. I think this new coaching staff's really helped him. Not that Coach Solari wasn't a great tool for him as well, but I think they're straight up with Tyler, and I know he'll respond well and do the rehab he needs to do, and hopefully even beat the prognosis and get back even earlier.
Are you guys looking externally at all, or is that an internal patch?
We always looking for for help, and we'll continue to look for ways to make our team better. And but we do have guys. One guy I'll point out, and he's probably going to go with ones, till we get Tyler back, is Nate Thomas. He's having a really good camp for us. He's exceeded expectations. He's serious-minded about what he's doing out there, and the coaches are really liking what he's doing out there. So, we do feel like we've got some good players there that can certainly do the job.
Stephen,
now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't even know in the world Nate Thomas was. I mean, he's number 3 on the depth chart is showing, but it's obviously he's been working out at left tackle. Don't you worry, courtesy of Vach Lombardi. I got you some film work on Nate Thomas from training camp. So in case some of y'all not familiar with him, we're gonna show you what he looked like, and I'll even show you his draft profile, because I'm just telling you, I didn't even have a clue who this guy was. I didn't have a clue who this guy was. But they're talking about him like, You just heard what they said. He's going to take Guyton's spot. I think if this was longer term, they would probably move Tyler Smith. But because it's short term, they're just going to try to fill it in. And I think so. They're gonna put Nate Thomas over there. And obviously they feel like he's been playing better than Austin Richards, which is crazy in the grand scheme of things. But hey, it is what it is.
Jerry never pulls punches. And, he's talked about with the stuff. And I wanted to ask you how much this has changed throughout your career of players like Diggs working elsewhere. And how is that adjustment been?
Okay, let me prepare y'all. This man is literally about to go demon mode. Check this out.
And for you, where before it seemed like that always the injured players were always within the organization, but now it's changed. How have you had to adapt to that? And is it something that we're going to see more of in the future?
No, I hope not, because I think a player is much better off training with us than he is somewhere else. I just think the discipline to come in every day, do the work, is there when they're here. Now, obviously, with league rules, there's certain things that are mandatory and certain things that aren't. But one thing we can do, which we'll continue to do, is put in every player's contract, especially guys that we, pay significant amounts of money. We expect leadership and we expect them to be here. And certainly we address that with Diggs, that he certainly paid a price for not being here. But we're paying a price, too, because we felt like he might be further along had he done his rehab here. He may differ with that. Right. But had he done his rehab here, we feel strongly that he would be further along. And that's in the best interest of the team and the organization, and comes with getting a big contract, which he received.
Yeah, I've known from my own personal experience of working with Britt Brown, with working for you guys, that he's one of the best in the league. And so I couldn't imagine being somewhere else. But is there difference?
Hey, man, this dude, Brian Broaddus was working his way back into the fold, man. He about to give he giving Stephen Jones, just keep listening to it. Brian Broaddus is giving this man some lobs, boy. He's slim dunking on Trayvon Diggs.
Does players have differences, you think, with your training staff? Is that kind of why they're maybe going elsewhere?
I mean, other than Diggs, everybody was here. Sure. So I don't know who you're talking about other than Diggs.
Well, Diggs, I'm saying with Diggs, though, do you think there was a difference there? Do you think there's a difference in?
I think every player's different.
Everybody was here but Diggs.
Brian, I think obviously when we sit down and we talk about paying a player, giving him a big contract, this is discussed at length with the player and the agent. And so we do have expectations. And by the way, he's the only guy I know of that wasn't here doing their rehab because they feel like it's in their best interest.
Yeah, were you as surprised as we were that he was willing to just leave that money on the table? We were all just taken aback by that.
He was notified. He was told. He was. It wasn't a surprise. He knew when he missed the first day. You can imagine Coach Schottenheimer was, really wanting him. He said, "You don't want to lose this money. Yeah. That's a lot of money you're talking about." And he made a conscious decision to do it, and we have to respect that. That's his. Certainly in the CBA that he can do that.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is one of the reasons why I don't think Diggs is going to be here. Did you catch what this man said? They notified him. They notified his agent. They told him exactly what they were going to do. But this is the part I want you to key in on. Brian Schottenheimer called him. Brian Schottenheimer called him. If you don't think that is going to speak volumes, I'm asking y'all. See, sometimes people, and I laugh, there are certain people out there, boy, they get mad when, Cowboy fans always falling in love with players. And then they fall in love with a player. And I keep laughing at people who keep defending Trayvon Diggs as if Trayvon Diggs is who he is before he got his contract and the injury. We have not seen that Trayvon Diggs in 2 years now. We have not seen that Trayvon Diggs. And I know there are people who are wanting him to be that Trayvon Diggs. He's not that Trayvon Diggs. He's not that Trayvon Diggs. And so when you think about what Steven is saying, so you telling me that you got a player that went against his contract, disregarded the warnings from you to his agent, disregarded the warnings from the coach, because he wants personal attention to get back early. Came back early last year. He didn't last. You telling me that we think it's excusable for Trayvon Diggs to be this defiant to his ownership and his contract, and the Joneses were supposed to just let that go? Nah, he good as gone. And if it was me, he'd be good as gone. And we got to understand this is a football business. Shannon Sharpe said it best. Your tolerance is based on your talent. And the tolerance level for Trayvon Diggs right now, because he's been injured, and then when he was on the field, it didn't look the same, didn't want to tackle, getting his socks burned off week after week. The tolerance level is real low for Trayvon Diggs right now. And I can tell you it's real low right now by the way Steven is talking. Steven talking reckless. And I don't even know if it's reckless. He's just putting it out there. And I know people don't like it. But why would we be mad at him doing this to Diggs when Diggs is doing this to them? Diggs is doing this to them. When your boss tells you something, you're supposed to do what they ask. Would we not agree? I don't know of anybody else that could pull this off. Could anybody do this at their job? Newhouse fam said Diggs had to. Newhouse fam said Diggs had to babysit. Davion Wallace said Diggs is not a victim. He did it to himself in the story. Ball out because this your last year. Straight up. Straight up. I'm in total agreement with you, Davion Wallace. And let me play the other side of this. If I had a message for Trayvon Diggs, don't you dare come back early. Don't you come back 93%. Because we're not going to be listening to you when they start talking about you got swelling in your knee, and that's why you're not playing well. Nobody's listening. Shannon Sharpe said it too. This was when Shannon Sharpe was on, when he was saying. Shannon Sharpe said it on Undisputed. When you hit the field, people expect you to play. They don't want to hear nothing about you were hurt. They don't want to hear nothing about blase. No, man, you're on the field. We don't want to hear your 80%. If you 80% and getting your socks burned off, then get your butt off the field. Let the guy behind you play. Did it to himself. Pure Gamer said, yeah, Diggs said, I don't need that $500K. Y'all already got me right. Shoot, man, I'm telling you, I ain't giving up $500,000. I don't care how many millions I got. Brian says, how is any of this productive? As it pertains to Trayvon Diggs, you have got to send a message to a player. And Trayvon Diggs is out there showing out. I'm sorry, where you show out is where you get woe out. Bottom line. Where you show out is where you get wore out. And at the end of the day, you got to ask, you got to tell me, and this is why I'm going to push back on you, Brian Davis. I appreciate your comment. See, I'm going to push back on you because you got to tell me where is it productive for Trayvon Diggs to do what he's doing. This is what Stephen Jones is explaining. When you got a player that's under contract and he know full well you're going to take $500,000 away from him. And then you listen to him in an interview when he's sitting there clowning with Micah Parsons, talking about, I was surprised when he took $500,000 away. You tell me where it's productive. You tell me where it's productive that you got a player on your team. You're trying to build this great culture of everybody being there for everybody, everybody being a family, everybody doing what they're supposed to do, and you got this one player. So you're going to let him do what he want to do? You tell me where that's productive. It's not productive. And that's really, if you really pay attention, this is what Stephen Jones is explaining. It is not productive for someone who we expect to be a leader to not be here and working out with our trainers. You tell me, Brother Davis, where is that productive? We got a $97 million man that is supposed to be a leader in the building, not a vocal leader. If you don't want to be a vocal leader, then don't be a vocal leader. But this is the leader. This is the leader I expect you to be. Stephen Jones said this clearly. We explained this to these guys extensively when they signed those contracts. I'm telling us, the Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones hate, we got to get this stuff out of our minds so we can hear clearly. How is it productive for Trayvon Diggs to be all up in here acting a fool? How is that productive? Because I see exactly where Stephen Jones is coming from. I see why he is ethering this man. Because Trayvon Diggs is up in here trying to, in the court of public opinion, oh, I was blindsided. Oh, I was surprised. Oh, that hurt my feelings. Maybe I'll get it back in incentives. How? How you gonna get it back in incentives? This man ain't gonna even be there for game one. And if this man is there for game one, I'm telling you, I would not be surprised he don't finish the season. Trayvon Diggs better not hit that field for the Cowboys unless he's 100%, because there is a 99% chance he won't be here next year. The Joneses, and I'm going to let Steven tell you. I'm going to let Steven tell you where they are with this thing with Trayvon Diggs. Again, you got to tell me where it's productive. That you got a player that is outright just saying, hey, man, I'm going to do what I want to do. Talk about he need personal attention. Meanwhile, Overshown is on target to come back early. Who in the world Tyler Guyton gonna work with? He gonna go get his own training staff? Is that what Tyler Guyton gonna do? Now, if it's not in your contract that you can go get your own trainers, go get your own trainers. But if it's in your contract, you tell me how it's productive for a player that you signed to $97 million for him to just disregard his contract. It's not productive. It's not productive. It's not productive at all. And I don't have no problem. I'm just being honest with you. I don't have no problem with what they're doing with Trayvon Diggs. This dude is Trayvon Diggs is up in here trying to play games. He's trying to play games. Gregory said, gee, I personally don't want to lose Diggs. What you losing? Gregory, explain to me what we're losing. We are defending the Trayvon Diggs before the injury in the contract. Do we not realize Trayvon Diggs was getting smoked last year? Smoked. Go back and look at the Detroit game. Smoked, toasted. Go back and look at the Atlanta game. Smoked, toasted. He played pretty good in spots. But for the most part, this dude was post, what we called it when we was younger, post-toasties. Ron Hanna, again, tell me where it's productive. Ron Hanna, it's serious when your new head coach call you and you still don't show up. Get out of here. I'm done with you. I'm sorry. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Your head coach called you and you still... I'm done with you. It's Stephen Jones is saying it. I'm not mad at him, Ron Hanna. I'm not mad at him. That's serious. Call you still don't show up. If that's Jimmy People, he's traded and cut the same day. Yeah, he traded. I guarantee you. Freddie said Diggs was out breaking the rules. With millions of dollars getting slung around, there's rules to follow. Insurances probably don't cover it if he ain't there. Shoot. I'm telling you, I ain't got no problem with the Diggs stuff. I don't have no problem with the Diggs stuff. Diggs out here tripping, straight up. He's tripping. I see you, Newhouse fan. He tripping. Gregory Davis. There it is. There it is. You just said it, Gregory Davis. If this was 2 years ago, and I don't still think they'd be putting up with the, well, let's just say this. If it was 2 years ago, he wouldn't even be hurt. But I just don't have a problem with what they're doing with Trayvon Diggs. They're giving this dude, they're putting, if Trayvon Diggs gets caught off, if this dude gets caught off guard again, he deaf, dumb, and blind. I don't know how he got caught. The dude said he was surprised, and Steven is putting this dude on blast. No, we called him. Brian called him. Brian called Michael Parsons. He here. Austin said you see Diggs jog on the field more than you see him sprint the last 2 years. Bro, he has not been the same. I know that hurts people's feelings. He's just not the same. And your tolerance level goes with your talent level. Kitty Boy said Diggs is soft. Kitty Boy said Dak and some of the other players called Diggs Trevonna. Boy, I hope that ain't true. Boy, Robert Hill, boy, you ain't playing either. Steven is going to be terrible to deal with whenever Jerry steps down. Hey, Robert Hill, you are not lying. My uncle always told me, he said, boy, you think Jerry the problem? He said, shoo. He said, Steven is off the chain. Miss Major said, I'm not siding with the Joes or Diggs here. Multiple players have been vocal about how much improvement the medical staff needs. Diggs may have felt he could be involved with better resources. Now, Miss Matrix, let's think about what they complained about. It wasn't the trainers per se, but they were talking about the number of trainers, if I'm not mistaken. But let me tell you, Miss Matrix, because I think you make a very good comment here. But let me tell you what Jerry is perturbed. Do we not realize that's another place where the Joneses made a new move? The Joneses brought in a new head of the training staff. And for whoever the other players have been complaining, DeMario Overshown dealt with Britt. He came back early. DeMario Overshown actually looked great. It was his other leg that got rolled up on. This man was playing unbelievable. These guys have been working with all of the players who have been hurt, and everything seems to be fine. Nobody having a problem with this training staff but Trayvon Diggs. And Stephen Jones even said it. Had he worked with Britt, he'd probably be ready. He'd even be more ready. Because I'm telling you, I watched the film on him yesterday, and I'm telling you, Trayvon Diggs don't look as good as everybody say. Trayvon Diggs don't look as good as everybody say. He don't. And I'll show you the video in a moment. No, I'm going to show you. Because I talked about this yesterday. I went back and looked at the tape on Savone Revel Jr., and I went back and looked at the tape on him. And it's crazy to me that Savone Revel, that in actuality, Trayvon Diggs looks better than Savone Revel Jr. That ain't saying much. I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you hear Steven say a couple of more things about where he is on Trayvon Diggs, and I'll show you this later on. But just check out where he is on, just check out where they are on this. Stephen Jones about to really go crazy.
Man, you guys, it looks like you just nailed this pick with Ezra Rocco in the second round, and I love this story of Aaron Whitecotton on the table.
And he might have already said it.
You don't want to lose this money. Yeah. That's a lot of money you're talking about. And, you know, he made a conscious decision to do it, and we have to respect that. That's his certainly in the CBA that he can do that.
Now, I'm not sure where it is, but I think it may be a little bit later on. But Stephen Jones actually said that they're disgusted with Trayvon Diggs. Those were the words he used. He might have said it early and I missed it, but when I was listening to it earlier, he said, we're disgusted with Trayvon. Just disgusted with him. I'm just telling us. If he get blindsided this time, he deaf, dumb, and blind because Steven is saying everything but that.
Man, you guys, it looks like you just nailed this pick with Ezeraku in the second round, and I love this story of Aaron Whitecotton on the table for him at 12. How surprised were you 32 picks later?
Well, we were surprised, and really, believe it or not, that's not, it was just a blinking light, and, we were thinking receiver, we were thinking a lot of different things, but when you have a player that you have rated highly, and they fall to you like that, then you that's when we've made our best picks. I mean, we weren't thinking receiver when we picked C.D. Lamb, but he was a blinking light up there in terms of, being a great player. Same thing with Micah. When we drafted him, there's just some guys you have to take because the grades say you take them. And of course, the great thing about Donovan is, as good a football player as he's displayed out here, he's a better man and does everything the right way, works his ass off. Everything's a plus with him.
Yeah, he's a good
kid. That report about Jadon Blue, and I don't know if you saw it or not, but talking about him in the organization, someone saying he was lazy and all that. That to me holds absolutely no water at all. With I don't know where Glenn Smith gets these things like that, but nothing from the Cowboys side of things ever like any negative of what Jadon Blue. You're just getting to know the kid, really, right?
Well, whenever a lot of these guys come from different.
I said this earlier. This dude, Glenn Smith, I do not understand. And people were acting like Glenn Smith gave some inside information. This dude didn't give no inside information. I don't care what anyone says. That was just a bunch of junk. Craziness.
Different cultures, different environments, and then they have to adapt to what our culture is going to be. Obviously, our culture's changed with Coach Schottenheimer.
Sure.
And so he has expectations, and these guys ultimately get a feel for what it takes to be a pro, what it takes to be a Cowboy, and what we expect. And we're not going to talk about those things, but I would say, there's always a couple of players, 3 or 4 players that, are just figuring it out in terms of what the expectations are about being a pro, and that comes with the territory.
What was it about Ferguson that made you guys want to go ahead and make the deal, especially after last year's a little banged up, but I guess there's a confidence that moving forward he's going to be highly productive.
Well, we think he's going to be very productive, and of course, somebody like a George Pickens is only going to help him.
Right.
Because,
straight up, he better ball this year.
Away from Ferguson, that maybe he was probably our number 2 target last year after CD, and but his football character's special. Jake, he plays the game the right way. He does everything the right way. He wants to be here. Certainly, he's respected supremely by his teammates, starting with the quarterback, which is important as well when the quarterback thinks so highly of somebody. And, he saw what happened, with Schultz, who we really thought a lot of. Right. And, he decided, hey, I want to be a Cowboy. I don't want to be playing it out and then maybe going somewhere else. He wants to wear a star and be a Dallas Cowboy, and he represents all the things, that we want in a Dallas Cowboy.
Deron Bland mentioned after practice yesterday that there had been some talks, maybe getting his deal done. We've often talked about like outside versus inside with Deron Bland because he's shown that he can play both at a high level. Do you view him either or, and is he maybe next up to get this thing inked?
Well, he's versatile, and anytime you're versatile in this league, it's valuable. And, he's a guy we think a lot of, and certainly if he's willing to share that, it's probably accurate. Good. So that's a good thing. But, not to be defensive to our conversation, I mean, we have these talks. We're not a team necessarily that waits to ultimately get a deal done. You've got to finally get to a point, and there's reasons why some of these guys want to wait, and a reason why some of them. I mean, we did Dak's deal a year early. He still he had a contract, could have played it out. But, I just, that's something that we're always looking for opportunities. And it's not necessarily because you can get a bargain on them. It's just because, hey, they decide that they want to go ahead and take care of themselves. And you never know when something happens like yesterday and it's not good results, and you wake up and a player gets injured and he says, "Damn, I wish I would have gone ahead and done my contract," because sometimes it can
That's why
affect
Mike
your
ain't
value.
touching the field.
If you sit out a year and you're coming off a major knee injury, you can, it can hurt your value.
Stephen, you did an interview or a little talk after one of the meetings at the owners' meetings there, and you said, "Hey, I don't want to answer any more questions about it." It was talking about some contract stuff and all that. I sensed there, and that's just my observation, I sensed a level of frustration with agents not allowing you to do something you're really good at, and that's negotiate. Do you and I'm not saying you're calling out agents. I'm calling out agents for you because I honestly
it takes two to tango.
No, and I'm watching it and I'm saying, I've worked for that man. He's frustrated he can't do something he's good at because they're not allowing him to do it.
Boy, Brian Broaddus is trying to get himself back into the. Brian Broaddus is trying to get himself back into the fold, man. He giving this man slam dunks, and y'all remember I did a show about this. The Cowboys are at war with these agents. They are, and in particular, athletes first. Because all of their players they have to sign, they're with athletes first. They're at war with these agents. There's no doubt about it. They are at war with these agents.
Well, I would say this. I just think all agents have different styles.
Sure.
And not all styles are styles you like.
Right.
But they can still be very effective.
Sure.
And so, I just, at the end of the day, in my mind, and I think in Jerry's mind, these agents work for these players. And the player has to decide what's important to him.
Right.
And I do think these agents are very, very smart. I think they understand it now more than ever. And I think they have to lay it out to the player, and then the player has to make a decision of where do I want to go with my business here? Right. And do I want to push the envelope? Am I willing to be, Dak's
This is a real B&H
customer. Bet on himself every time, and he just wasn't concerned about it. There's other guys who want to get the business in the rearview mirror and get it behind them. Both ways are can be good, and so I really don't. I'd say very, very, very few agents do I have a problem with.
Right.
And so I can work with them. We can talk. But timing can be really important, and especially to the agents. And sometimes they're laying out to the player, hey, let's let a few more cards play before we make a decision, which you have to respect. And you can't push the issue.
I just sense frustration, and that was just my observation. But
it's obviously it's a lot of money this day and time. It's a lot, and I understand it. It's generational money for these guys, and they handle their business the right way. It's great for them. And hats off to them. They get what they deserve, and you go from there.
Get back to Texas and get some brisket sandos.
Yeah,
and,
we always try to sell them on that. Hey, there's no state taxes in Texas. Cost of living's good. I mean, you can imagine all that comes out of our mouth.
I guarantee you talking about that.
Get that price down a little bit.
Seriously, though, how much do you look forward to a brisket sando when you're away from Texas?
I miss it.
Right
I do miss my barbecue, I promise.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for being so generous with your time
Absolutely.
and answering all our questions. Give them the hell we'll be pulling for you.
Thank you, guys.
And again, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not worried about the Michael Parsons stuff. We got to stop sweating Michael Parsons. It's to me, it's just pure dumbness. He's getting paid. He's going to get paid. And so the Cowboys, though, I got a strange feeling they're going to do quite a few more deals. I think they're going to try to get again. I think the deals they're going to attempt to get done, and it would be smart for them to get them done. Don't let Tyler Smith go out there this season and be the best left guard in football, because the reality is I still believe Tyler Smith can play left tackle for somebody. This dude, get him signed this year, because I'm telling you the price is only going up. Deron Bland, sign him. You could probably get Deron Bland a whole lot cheaper if he don't go out there and ball out, because you got him coming off a season where he was kind of halfway injured. So you can deal with you can probably get Deron Bland. He don't have to be in the top 10. I showed that yesterday. So go ahead and get him signed. The dude they're going to probably have a problem, and I don't know if they're going to have a problem with, But I am telling us, Kyle Elam has been the best cornerback in camp. Kyle Elam has been the best cornerback in camp. The dude has been balling. Straight up, he been balling. And Kyle Elam, the reason why I think Kyle Elam is balling too is because Kyle Elam needs that. Hey, he wants to prove everybody wrong. Kyle Elam wants that next contract. And I think he kind of got a bad deal out there in Buffalo. I think he got a bad deal in Buffalo. So I think he's gonna be fine. But again, Trayvon Diggs, I'm on both sides of this. I see where Stephen Jones is on Diggs. Diggs been tripping, straight up tripping. But let's go to the other side. Trayvon Diggs, don't you touch this field for the Cowboys until you're 100%. If I'm Diggs, I ain't trying to come back early. I want everything to be 100% right. Why? Because I may be on audition for another team. So I want to make sure when I come back, my body is 100% right. My knee, 100% right. When I step on that field, I'm showcasing for the whole league. My rehab went good. My knee feel good. And I'm back to the old Trayvon Diggs. And I'm balling out. That's where I want Diggs. I'm balling out. Don't come back up in here 92%. It ain't going to do you no good. It is not going to do Trayvon Diggs any good. So I'm on both sides of this because I'm going to show you what I saw the other day. I was looking back at some of the film, and I'm going to show you something that is crazy to me. And I think I talked about this the other day. Let me show you this. So the Cowboys are proclaiming that Savon Revel Jr. is supposedly going to be ready in August. Let me show you Savon Revel Jr. I think I showed you this already. But watch Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr. goes up, makes this jump, and look at there. Now, he could be ready. I don't know. But looking at this right here. Coming off of that surgery, that to me don't look like a cornerback that's going to be ready. We're playing in now what? 34 days, somewhere in there? 34 days? 35 days? He going to have to make a whole bunch of improvement to be ready in 35 days. I mean, that's a serious gimp. Now, let me show you about Trayvon Diggs. This is where I am with Trayvon Diggs, and this is why I'm saying with Trayvon Diggs, don't you get back on that field for the Cowboys unless you are 100%. Because I'm going to show you what I noticed about Trayvon Diggs. And I'm going to show you two pieces of film I got on Trayvon Diggs. Now, let me show you the first one. Hold on, let me get to my right day. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I picked the wrong. Okay, here we go. Now let me show you Trayvon Diggs. Now I'm gonna show you two different plays on Trayvon Diggs. And the crazy thing is, Trayvon Diggs is moving way better than Savon Revel Jr. That's the insane thing. He's moving way better. Now watch this. This is the first play. Now this play right here, Trayvon Diggs looks good. And he definitely looks like he's put on a little bit of weight, and that's probably a good thing. I mean, he looks really, really good. So let's watch the movement. Okay, all that looks good. Let's let that replay again. Trayvon Diggs looks to me like he's way further than Savon Revel Jr. But again, I kind of did some reading up on this chondral bone graft surgery. Man, you don't want to play around with this stuff. Noah Brown had this chondral bone graft surgery. I was looking at his performance, and I'm gonna show you. Matter of fact, I looked up Noah Brown. Noah Brown had this same surgery in 2019. So again, you just looking at these movements and some of these other. You can look at a lot of other film on Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs looks good with this movement, but I'm gonna show you the one that kind of got me going. Okay, he's looking good, but if I'm Trayvon Diggs, don't rush back. Now let me show you this one. I saw the same thing I saw in Savon Revel Jr. Watch this. Backpedaling. All this looks good. But watch when he jumps and comes down. Right there. I'm not quite sure he trusted. Just look again. He didn't gimp, but not quite. Not quite. That ain't quite normal, and you can tell. It's when he comes down. That don't quite look right. The little skip around right there. He looks to be ahead of Savon Revel Jr. But this chondral bone graft surgery, I'm telling us, this stuff is different. I went back and looked at Noah Brown. As far as I know, Noah Brown is the only one that's had this surgery. And let me show you something about Noah Brown. Because I'm telling you, like when you kind of look up the history on this chondral bone graft surgery, the only issue is it's not the running that gets you. The question becomes with this chondral bone graft surgery is what happens the first time he takes a hit, the first time he falls on the ground, the first time he falls on his knees, the first time this is what you're worried about with the chondral bone graft surgery. All the running and stuff is fine. And even when you saw how he jumped up, if you just look at how he came down, I'm not seeing it as he's just quite ready yet. But again, let me show you something about Noah Brown. So I was looking at Noah Brown. It says that Noah Brown had this same surgery, I'm thinking 2019. And there could be some more context to this, but this is Noah Brown, if I'm not mistaken. He had this surgery in 2019. And let me make sure. See, I think Noah Brown had this in, I want to make sure, I'm thinking it was 2019 that Noah Brown had this. I'm thinking it's 2019. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I looked at the first time, it was 2019. Now, when I looked at his stats, he didn't really, I don't know if this is because he didn't get game time or whatever the case may be. But when I look at what happened, and it seems like it is 2019. Let's look at this graph. It's not really a graph, but let's look at this. It's pretty obvious it's 2019 because there's a gap right here. 2017, 2018, there's no 2019. So it was 2019. And I don't know if this is because of usage or what. But when he comes back from that chondral bone graft surgery, the 2020, he only had 14 receptions. He came back in 2021, he only had 16 receptions. And so my question becomes, is this because of usage? Is this because of where he was on the depth chart? Or is this because of some of the residual of trying to get himself back right as it applies to this chondral bone graft surgery? Because again, everything I've read on this chondral bone graft surgery, and this is why I'm on both sides of this. Trayvon Diggs, don't you dare come back until you are 100%. Don't even try. And the thing that kind of gets me is don't come back early. Cowboys are notorious for trying to get people to come back early. Don't come back early. Don't come back early. Don't you dare come back early. You make sure that when you come back, you are 100%. Because nobody's going to hear it if you're not. Nobody's going to listen. You come back 100%. And when you come back, it needs to be the Trayvon Diggs pre-injury, pre-contract. Has to be. Has to be. Don't let it be any doubts about your health, because I'm telling you, when you step back out there, it's got to be what it is. Yeah. You got to get that. You just got to get out there and do your thing. But again, I can tell you this. I'm going to call it. And I could be totally wrong, but I'm going to call it. Short of Trayvon Diggs coming back, and it all depends. Let's say he comes back game 5. He got 13 games. Shoot. Bet you this. If that joker don't get 5, 6 interceptions, couple of touchdowns, and tackling out of his mind, Brian Schottenheimer already said, no, Matt Eberflus said yesterday, cornerbacks in my defense, they have to tackle extremely well. They have to tackle well. They have to tackle well. He better come back tackling and doing everything else, because if he don't, I think he's gone. Period. End of story. I think he's done. I think he's done. And the way Steven is talking, he's done. You look at the contract, he's done. The contract, they don't owe him no more guaranteed money. This is the last guaranteed year. I don't think they're going to do anything with that contract. They can save $13 million cutting bait with him at the end of the season. He's been injured for the last 2. I think he's done. And I think what's going to really allow the Cowboys to cut bait with him is this dude, Kaiir Elam, is balling. Kaiir Elam is balling. Straight up. Kaiir Elam is balling. All right, let's check out something else. I have not watched this, so I don't know if I can go. Let's see. I have not watched the Brian Schottenheimer interview, so let me see how long it is. Okay, it's 27 minutes, so we'll see how far we can get into that, but I want to make sure there's not any other player interviews. So we do got some other, okay. So we got a Nate Thomas segment. CeeDee Lamb gave an interview today, so probably want to hear that, and Dante Fowler. So let's listen to some of Brian Schottenheimer, because I don't think we'll be able to get. I don't know if we'll be able to listen to all of it in its entirety. But let's listen to some of Brian Schottenheimer, and then we're gonna get to our next subject, because Nate Thomas has an interview. I want to get to the Nate Thomas interview for sure, and I want to show you some of the tape that Voch Lombardi got for us. Hold on a second. Let's go. Let's get Brian Schottenheimer in. And then we're going to get to Nate Thomas, because they're saying that Nate Thomas is going to be the replacement temporarily for Tyler Guyton. So let's get it.
Something there with Mr. Guyton.
Yeah, I think, obviously we're pleased that it could have been worse. The process is going on, and what I talked to Tyler about last night a little bit is, like, he's had such a great offseason.
What up, Boss Cowboy? I see you in the chat. What's up,
Calvin? It's
shout out to Boss Cowboy.
Such great growth, such great confidence.
Another goat in the game.
He's got to continue to grow professionally and learn how to attack rehab, no different than how he attacked, learning his sets and the different things he's doing. And he's excited about that. And my stance, I'll just be very clear. My stance with guys that are injured, man, is, whether they're, a couple weeks, a day-to-day thing, the year, man, is like, we love them up. We love them up. We communicate with them. We want them around. And so he's going to be here training his ass off. And, again, I do feel like we dodged a bullet there.
Medical medical people telling you he could come back by the opener, week 2, 3? What are they telling
Yeah, the timeline's different. Again, I do think that it could be a couple weeks, but again, based on his ability to go and attack this, I think that he'll come back as fast as possible, and that's important.
I'm telling y'all, man, I always get nervous about the Cowboys and their players always coming back early. I just think when you start talking about these knees and any kind of injury, you don't want it to become a nagging injury. I'm not saying let the guy sit out for half the season, but don't let it be a nagging injury. Don't let it be a nagging injury. Let Guyton get 100%. This dude was balling in training camp, and I just don't want to see him come back early and then we see him go down early. I don't want to see it. But hey,
Nate Thomas, what do you guys like about him?
Yeah, I talked
Nate
about
Thomas.
Nate the other day. He big man, worked his butt off coming back from his injury last year. He's massive. Plays with great length, and I talked to Nate yesterday on the players' day off, just walking into the meal, and was just telling him, like, nothing changes. Like, play free, play relaxed. You know how to play this game. Like, don't go out there and be, oh, now I'm with the first.
Okay, and since they're talking about Nate Thomas, what we're gonna do after they get done with this, we're gonna flip over to the Nate Thomas subject, and then we can come back to Brian Schottenheimer in case we don't get, because this is a pretty long interview. I want to make sure we get Nate Thomas in. I want to show you the film that we got on Nate Thomas. Man, Nate Thomas is looking pretty good.
Group, and oh my gosh, I got to do this. That's the wrong way to approach it. Be excited. You get an opportunity to compete, and he'll get the first shot at it. But, when these guys go in, they say, oh, now I'm with the first group, I got to try harder. That whole thing of trying harder, it doesn't work. You usually put pressure on yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go so hard now. And it doesn't work. Just play, man. You get this, and big man, great feet, great length, and powerful.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys. Guy, this was a big camp for him. Certainly, we talked about how he's been out there since the end of the season. How much does this set back his development for year 2, just missing his time in practice?
I think, he's going to control that. We're going to control that as a staff with him. And, we're already starting on doing, certain projects with him. Ramon Chin-Young's already got his reps of all his one-on-one pass, protection, clips and all of his run protection clips. And he's still going to be in the meeting. So,
mental reps.
I don't think, it's going to be a huge setback for him. The biggest thing for him is to stay mentally prepared, stay mentally in it. But, there's going to be days that it bothers him and it hurts, and he's going to have to push through, and he'll do that. And like I said, these guys that are dinged up and injured, we're going to love on them. We're going to support them, but they got to do the work. And I think that's part of a young player understanding how important it is that you attack the rehab and the process that you got to do so you feel good going into hopefully that first game.
Okay, Nate Thomas, give one more.
Just take that step, since the rookie year, he missed all of that.
Is your mind secretly
Now,
sad?
I'll be honest with you guys. I was not really that familiar with Nate Thomas.
And also, when you
But it sounds like he got hurt last year or something to that
First game.
effect.
Getting back to Nate for a minute, what has he done just to take that step, since the rookie year, he missed all of that with the knee injury? And also, when you rotate guys in there, who are the other guys who will be rotating at left guard?
Yeah, so again, Nate, the power jumps off the film, Clarence. I mean, the power of the man and his body. So the first thing that jumps out at you is the ability to get displacement in the run game. He's able to move the dot, we call it, if that's the guy who the back's reading. He's able to move the dot. But you see a big guy with nimble feet, great length. It'll be good for him and Tyler Smith to be communicating. That's a big part of it. We're all over that every day about the communication. But you'll see Awesome Richards over there some. You'll see Hakeem over there some. We're all about creating competition. And but those guys, Awesome and Nate, will get the first couple cracks at it.
Brian, Todd Archer with ESPN. When you look at the injuries you've had the first 6 practices, whatever it's been.
Okay, let's flip over just for a moment. I want to flip over here and look at Nate Thomas. Nate Thomas gave an interview today. Let's see here. How do we want to approach it? Let's see. Nate Thomas, from what my understanding is, Nate Thomas has already been kind of playing good at camp from what they're saying. But courtesy of Voch Lombardi, we got some film here. We got some big plays on this dude. Let's check him out, see what he's doing over here in camp. Let's check him out. All right. Let's get a little music this time behind it. Okay, let's see. Let's replay that. Okay, he's 71. All right. All right. Let's see what he do. Yeah, he got good hands and feet, that's for sure. Oh, man. Let's watch his feet again. See, this is where Guyton had to work. Look at them feet, man. He got them things working. Hands, feet, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, let me show you. I got to get another monitor. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, check him out. Hands, feet, they there, for sure. Let's check him out again. I mean, he got very good footwork down here. Watch how he keeps his feet moving. Yeah, he got good footwork. Yeah, he is a big dude. I like the use of hands. Got good extension. Okay. I got 4 more plays, but this is a very good example of him using his feet very, very well. I'd like to see it moving a little bit faster though, as far as the speed of that play. All right, let's look at this. Shout out to Vouch Lombardi. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on X. He's been giving us these trench packs, as he call them. He's been following the trenches for us. All right, let's check him out again. Okay, he out there doing work. This is him up in here. Oh yeah. All right, I see him. Okay. Boss Cowboy, he's kind of like the expert on this trench stuff. So Boss Cowboy, you tell us what you think on him real quick. I'm not really as familiar with him, I'll be honest with you. So we had an injury last year, coming off the injury. But from everything I see right here, boy, that footwork is immaculate. Let's check him out again. Tight end laying up outside of him. All right, gets to the second level. I see him. Got to the second level. Now, I am kind of wondering a little bit. The plays don't seem to be running as fast. I also wonder right here if I was just being critical. If you look right here, he misses Donovan Ezaraku. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking Donovan Ezaraku is the assignment. He goes past Donovan Ezaraku, and if this was running in full speed or if this was a game, man, y'all forgive me. Hold on, let me flip. All right. Y'all forgive me. I'm working with one monitor. I'm going to fix that this week. All right. So he gets to the second level, but I think Donovan Ezaraku is his read. Y'all tell me what you think, but I think this is Donovan. Let me see here. See, Donovan Ezaraku is the read. I'm going to take it through a little bit slow. He gets to the second level, and it looks like he kind of turns his head to Donovan, but then he goes. Yeah, and this right here, if this is a full speed play, this is probably a stop because he misses Donovan Ezaraku, runs past him, and they probably, I would imagine, if I'm not mistaken, that Sanborn, easy, that this is not going to be a touchdown if they're really hitting. Let's look at it again in fast motion. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But y'all tell me what you think. Or maybe Easy, maybe he gets in the way of Easy and makes him delay. But he got good footwork, that's for sure. All right, let's look at the next play on him. Botch called these the 4-packs. All right, let's get another one on him. Let's see here. Hold on, same one there. All right. This is supposed to be another one. This is with Joe Milton this time, look like out here. Man, I love the fact that Cowboys, the motion and things that they're doing, it's just a beautiful thing to see. He's lined up right here. He's a big dude. Okay, it looks like he pushed him outside the pocket. So this must be work from another day. Because I think I remember this play, but maybe it is from the day. Because I remember Joe Milton throwing it kind of short. But again, it looks like he pushes him outside to play for sure. All right, let's get one more in. This dude, Nate Thomas, I'm just telling you. This the dude they going with. I don't really know enough about him. And I guess it was because he was hurt. All right, let's get this play. This is a good one up close. So it looks like he's lined up out here to the far left. All right, let's see what's up. He's out there with Milton again, so okay. Okay, that's the same play Vach got us, but a different angle. I'm a little concerned. Maybe it looks the same, but I guess it isn't. Okay, he got to the second level. He got his hands on somebody. Yeah, there he is right there again to the second level. He got his hands on somebody that time. Boom. Okay. We'll keep our eye out on him for the next few days. Now that we know he's gonna be taking that spot, we know now Vash Lombardi will be, and some of these other guys gonna be all over it. But that's kind of Nate Thomas in a nutshell. They're confident in him, so let's see what it do. Let me see what y'all comments are on this. Let's see. Nate Thomas, what's your thoughts? Johnny Blue, what up? Yeah, they got rid of that boy. They got rid of that boy Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp did his own self in, Johnny Blue. When he settled, it was over. It was over. Settling is almost a sign of guilt, even if he isn't guilty. Yeah, USMC talking about Trayvon Diggs. I'm telling you, I don't want Diggs back early. I think he needs to make sure he is 100%. 100%. And when he come back, ball out. Ball out when he come back. That's all he needs to do. Just ball out when he come back. All right, let's see. Boss Cowboy, you still in there? Tell me what you think about Nate Thomas, because like I said, when they first mentioned him, I had to go look. I had to go look and see who he was because he got hurt, I guess, at some point last year. Davion Wallace said that Diggs made a decision that he has to take on the chin. Cowboys didn't do him wrong at all. I don't think they did him wrong. I don't. Carl Alder, Shotty's interview, nothing new. Yeah, I think as much as they're talking to him now, it's like they're starting to ask a lot of the same questions unless it's something like current. But other than that, Poby D said he might have had a bad experience with the trainers. Everyone is different. Can't say what they did for another player. Well, again, what's his name? Tyler Guyton gonna be working with these same trainers, Poby D. He gonna be working with them same trainers. Demarion Overshawn got back with them same trainers. I mean, he did. He got back with them same trainers. But again, at the same time, I think this is where we are. When you put that on his contract, he gotta honor that contract. Hey, Boss Cowboy said he strongly disagree. Hold on a second. Let me go back to my man, Boss Cowboy. My man, Boss Cowboy, he said, call it today, G. We need to discuss this Diggs stuff. He said, I majorly disagree on Diggs. I'm pretty sure Cowboy done dug into this film on this too. Let's see. He said, yes, sometimes you tell your head coach no. He had that right through the CBA. Yeah. But he also knew it was in that contract too, boss. And they clipped him. And the thing for me is he can make that decision. But I'm laughing at the fact he said he was surprised. And Steven said, nah, man, he wasn't surprised. Steven said, we notified that man. He said, we notified that man. So he made a decision. So it is what it is. All right, let's see. But again, the Nate Thomas thing, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm working with one monitor right now on this new setup. I got to get me a second monitor. I used to use my laptop, but now I'm using something else. But yeah, I'm sorry about the delay on letting y'all see it. But, you know, for the most part, Nate Thomas, it's practice at this point in time. I'd like to see a little bit more speed. And I guess if we're going to really see what he do, let's see what he do against the Rams. Let's see what he do against the Rams. They're going to be there's an in-camp game with the Rams, and then there's going to be the actual preseason game with the Rams. So we're going to get to see what Nate Thomas do in those games. And thankfully, this is kind of like it's only a couple of games. Davio Wallace, he said he finna lock up that swing tackle. Man, what if he come in here and just what if Nate Thomas come in here and I mean he just balled out so hard that man. Let me tell you, this is why football is the ultimate sport, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, I remember when I played football way back in the day, and man, had a dude got hurt. I was backing him up. Man, you can lose a job to injury so fast it'll make your head spin. But I don't think Guyton's gonna lose his job. I think the Cowboys are gonna give him every opportunity to start. But Nate Thomas could definitely make a case and make it hard on him. But again, let's do a little bit more of Nate Thomas. A little bit more of Brian Schottenheimer. See what it do. But again, they talk to him so much that it's pretty hard to get anything new at this point in time from Brian Schottenheimer. It really is. It's hard to get anything new.
Say is that, or is it a lot of just poor luck in some respects?
It's just football, Todd. I mean, you don't sit there and say, oh well, hey, if we would have done this, we would have done that. Hey, look, our objective is to get on the field and get off. We're going to work, and like I said, we're going to have a physical camp, and we need to have a physical camp. We need to pop and hit and wrap and thud and pads, and you look at the play with that happened to Tyler. It was
trying to get that softness out of the Cowboys.
Some bodies got tangled up, and that happens in football. You hate to see it. But again,
trying
at the
to
end
get
of
that
the day,
softness out of
as you look at it now, it's like, hey, I think we got away with one.
And have you ever been at a training camp where you've been under a tsunami advisory?
No, but I will admit something that I was a little worried. So I did call Cable last night. I was like, you hear tsunami, you get really worried. So I was like, Cable, we good? He said, yeah, we're okay. So yeah. Well, yes. Hey, that's a great point. How in the hell does Cable know? Why am I taking Cable's word for it? I mean, that's a great point. Must have been tired when I answered that question. I'm going to have to ask him that. He said something about he talked to the local police department or something like that. He just said, you're good. And I was like, okay, good. That's all I wanted to hear. And then I was able to go back to sleep. But good point. I need to follow up with him. Who made you a weatherman?
John Machota with The Athletic. Going off the injuries, cornerback, what's your level of concern at that position right now?
Yeah. again, I think it's an opportunity to find out about some of these young guys. I've been talking about Kyer. I've been talking about his ability to step up and do things.
Kyer been balling.
Back. You go down the list. We're finding out. What does Keemon Hall look like? How does Keemon do moving out? Again, Zion Childress is another young guy that we like. Troy Pride's doing some really good things, and again, a guy that's really kind of popped over the last couple of days for us is Robert Rochelle. So again, the injuries happen. And again, you don't want to see injuries. You hate it. You support the guys that are injured, and you talk to them about what's the plan to get them back. But it is an opportunity to create competition and build the depth of your roster. And when you play 20-plus games, which is what we're planning on having to play to win the Super Bowl, you're going to need everybody. And someone is going to start in the Super Bowl that was maybe not even on the 53-man roster. That is the nature of pro football.
Really? How's that going to happen?
Football today, with how big and strong these guys and what a physical and violent game it is. And
wait a minute, let me run that back again. Let me hear this statement again.
But again, we're getting some good rep, and but it is an opportunity to create competition and build the depth of your roster. And when you play 20-plus games, which is what we're planning on having to play to win the Super Bowl, you're going to need everybody. And someone.
Okay, 17 games, regular season, 3 preseason, that's 20. If you hit the wild card, or if you don't get the number 1 seed, that's 3. That's 23. The Super Bowl would be 24. Okay, that's 24 games that you would have to play. Now, let me listen to the rest of this.
Talk to them about what's the plan to get them back, but it is an opportunity to create competition and build the depth of your roster. And when you play 20-plus games, which is what we're planning on having to play to win the Super Bowl, you're going to need everybody. And someone is going to start in the Super Bowl that was maybe not even on the 53-man roster. That is the
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. He said that there's going to be somebody in the Super Bowl that plays that wasn't on the 53-man roster. Wait a minute. Now, this sounds like what the Philadelphia Eagles did last year, where they had some players that got healthy and they didn't let them suit up for the Super Bowl. And I remember that Bill Belichick didn't let Butler suit up for the Super Bowl. So I guess he's basically saying that somebody from the practice squad, somebody from the practice squad gonna be moved up if we make it to the Super Bowl. Then somebody from the practice squad gonna be moved up to the 53-man roster the week of the Super Bowl and play. I like the Super Bowl talk with man. That's woof. Okay.
Nature of pro football today, with how big and strong these guys and what a physical and violent game it is. And but again, we're getting some good rep, and it's also allowing us to do some things defensively that sometimes would happen in a game. What do I mean by that? You might have a bunch of nickel or sub packages in, and then all of a sudden you're down a corner or two and you have to play more base. Okay, well, let's see how Maris does walking out over the slot. Can he do that, or who is the best person to do that? And so it's good for us to have to adjust, and we do it during practice, even with the scripts. Okay, hey, Shotty, hey, Flus will say, hey, I got to go more base, or I got to go more jumbo with the offense because we're down a tight end or two, and that's what happens on game day when you're limited to the smaller roster.
Obviously, a lot's been made about the energy at practice, and certainly the loud music supports that. But how does slow hand by the pointers fit into that?
Well, if you notice where I put it, it was very well thought out, very calculated. It was during a special teams walkthrough. I did get some looks by the guys, and I just kind of did it wasn't my request. But it's the cool thing for me when I'm going signing autographs with the fans and stuff, they're excited, they feel the energy, and our guys feel the energy, not just from the music, but from the fans being out here, from the competition. That's the thing that makes training camp fun. I mean, training camp's long, and it's physical and it's demanding, and it's not long days like I remember when I first got into coaching, when you'd have your last meeting end at 10 p.m. and then you'd have to hustle back to grab a beer at staff meeting at 11 o'clock. And then I can always remember this was a Marty Schottenheimer thing. So literally we'd come in, we'd be watching practice film, and the staff meeting would end about 11:15, and he'd say one of two things. He'd say either offense stay and the defense ran out as fast as they could. They're like, get higher. Or he'd say, defense, stay. And the offensive guys would be like fist bumping under the table, like, yeah, because they knew that the guys that got asked to stay were getting ready to watch the practice all over again.
Did you know slow hand and who?
Of course. Pointer Sisters, baby. I like the faster paced Pointer Sisters. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm so excited. I like that one, you know, and I just can't. That's my probably favorite Pointer Sister song, but it was solid choice. Someone from very high up.
Yeah, it was Jerry Jones.
Very high up. But it was played at the right time because it was special teams walkthrough.
Tommy Arish, DallasCowboys.com. Brian, we've got young guys like Tyler and Caleb who are...
This is what Jared looked like before he went through our superhuman program. And if you didn't notice, he's an amputee without a leg.
Listen, training camp that you use the reps and kind of maybe having some mental blocks last year. How do you try to keep the mental side of their game fresh so that when they can come back, they can play confidence when at times it seemed like they were lacking it last year?
Great question. Number one, they're not rookies anymore. They're year two. They've been exposed to a lot more. They kind of know what it looks like. But I would say the starting point is keep them very, very involved in meetings. Fire questions at them. Keep them involved. Make them check their notes. Hey, let me see your notes from today. Like, what notes did you take? What did you learn? What did you put down? And then, you know, still follow your position. So if you're playing the field corner, Kalen, and let's say Kyer's getting all the reps, like, what did you see? So I'll ask him walking off the practice field, hey, what'd you see? You know, what was a couple plays that Kyer said that you saw? And you got to keep them involved, and then know that they're going through the mental anguish of I'm hurt and it sucks, and I get their frustration. I talked to a number of guys yesterday. I said, hey, this does not define you. You're going to be fine, but the only way you're going to be fine is if you keep attacking the rehab and stay engaged mentally, and that way you're going to pick it up as soon as you get back.
Hey, Coach. Patrick Walter, DallasCowboys.com. Goes without saying your first two opponents are elite on the defensive front and the defensive trenches. When it goes to planning for those guys, do you give your left tackle, be it Guyton coming off of an injury, or Awesome Richards or Nate Thomas, do you give those guys the same trust you have in Cable, or like where does scheming to help those guys come in?
Well, I mean, we obviously have a bunch of time. You know, honestly, Patrick, I think D-lines in this league are all now elite. You know, you mentioned three in the division that are great, just like ours is. We have tools, but, you know, we don't have to answer that right now. And I'm just excited to watch, you know, Nate, you know, go out there and compete against some elite pass rushers that we have out here. See Awesome compete. And then, again, they're not going to win every rep. You know, they're going to make mistakes, and that's part of practice. And when we get to the game planning part of it, our system is flexible enough that, yeah, we have all the tools that we need to be able to change things up. And at the end of the day, the best thing you can do for any offensive line, any team offense, when you're playing elite defensive linemen, is pound the frickin' football, man. Just frickin', you know, try to shove it up their ass. And that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to be physical.
Okay.
To your defensive line, how is Sam Williams coming along as far as knocking some rust off after his injury?
He's doing great. He, so competitive. You just see him getting comfortable. He's wearing the brace. You know, he's doing different things. But I saw a pass rush the other day in the padded practice where he came off an edge, and he had actually a stunt coming inside, and you saw the explosiveness. And that's kind of what happens with guys coming back. Like, there's a play or two that they speak to. Like, oh, okay, I'm back. Like, and I don't know if that was that moment for Sam, but I did notice the twitch and the things that you're used to seeing from Sam Williams, and that got me excited.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Williams. A little bit of a convoluted question here. Matt Eberflus says he loves Sean Lee because he's able to get to the most of his abilities, the extent of his potential. DeMarvion Overshown told me that Matt Eberflus wants him to be like Sean Lee in that regard. Is the time away for DeMarvion Overshown, for the guy who's that athletic, could this be beneficial in getting to that point?
Absolutely, and I think Demo is a great example of the question that Tommy asked about the injuries. Like, if you guys, and I mentioned this the other day, you guys watch Demo, he stands by Flus a bunch, and he wants to see the game through Matt's eyes. Why is that so important? Because that's the words and the tone and the speaking that he hears coming into the helmet, and they can dissect things, and they can talk about things, and that's a guy that gets it. That's a guy that understands, okay, yeah, I can't be out there running around right now, but I can still be getting a PhD in Matt Eberflus's, not just his defense, but in what he's thinking, because it's all it's all anticipation. You know, if we're playing situations, critical situations, Dak and I have a great feel for, hey, he's anticipating my thoughts. Is that always that way? No, but we talk through it like, well, I thought you would do this. Well, yeah, here's why I did that. And, oh, yeah, hey, okay, you might be right. Or, yeah, Dak, I agree with that. I should have done that. But that's what he's doing. He's doing that with Flus right now, and I think that's those reps, they count. They don't not count. I mean, he's not running around, but we all know Demo knows how to run around and make plays. We're not concerned about that. It's him mastering this defense.
Overshown is going to be our Ray Lewis next year. You watch what I tell you. He is absolutely going to be our Ray Lewis. All right, guys. So let's change gears a little bit. Brian Schottenheimer, always a good interview. Talking X's and O's and all those things. But let's kind of change gears a little bit because I want to make sure we get these plays in. So let me go over here. Let's do maybe one player. Let's do one player interview. I plan to get out of here tonight about 7 o'clock. Got a couple things got to take care of. All right, let's see. We're going to get in one player interview. Let's see which one we want to do today. We'll do these other ones. We'll see if we can get around to those. If we don't get around to them tomorrow, I may do Cowboys After Dark tonight. So y'all turn that notification bell on.
Data.
Yeah, y'all turn that notification bell on for sure. And so, okay, it is 6:42. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I may save some of this other stuff for tonight on Cowboys After Dark. So what we're going to do is I want to turn to the plays because I'm sure y'all enjoy some of these plays for y'all. Some of y'all who haven't seen the plays, I want to make sure you get to see some of the plays from the day. Let me read a couple of comments, then I'm gonna get to the plays, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Let's see here. Let me start by right in here. What in the world, Ice Cold? He said Diddy enters the presser. What in the world? Boy, what in the world? I don't even know why y'all to this part, but let's see here. Oh, y'all talking about shot his head? Okay. Ron Hanna said, man, if this running game gets going, watch out. Oh, man, let me tell you. Ron Hanna, I am not worried about the Cowboys offense. I am not worried. Nate Thomas, from everything I just saw, man, them feet look really good. Look real natural, too. Hand extension. I'm going to look at him some more tonight. But, man, if we're going to be able to run the ball, it's over with. Hallelujah. So, yeah, we can run the ball at will week 1. Watch out. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Tom D said, don't you ever come to another presser without your visor on, Shotty, you getting fired. Boy, y'all crazy. Oh, boy, y'all crazy. All right, man. Let me get y'all these plays in here. Let's get these plays going. All right. Let's get this thing going. All right. First up, we got the good fellas. It's the warm-up. Why not? It's the warm-up. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Always working together. Like that black shoe look. All right, let's get into some plays. This first play, George Pickens. George Pickens and Dak Prescott getting a real good connection. Let me tell you something. I noticed something about this. I noticed something about the first couple of practices when they got in them doggone pads. The offense was struggling against the defense, man, when they started getting them pads in. But now today, it looked like they're good. They're settled in a little bit, and the offense looks a lot better. All right, we got George Pickens. Dak Prescott Ooh. Nice. Nice. Watch this. Just. Ooh. Nice. Nice. Like that play to George Pickens. Next up, Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams, this is a nice little run right here. Man, watch this dude footwork. Man, this dude dancing like Michael Jackson. Check him out. Look at this. Boom, boom. I see you, Javonte. Boom. Yeah, we're going to be able to run that rock, I believe, y'all. Look at this again. Boom, boom. I see you, Javonte. Okay. Man, nice little run there. Next up, watch this. Y'all been waiting on this one. Y'all been waiting on this one. We got us a Trayshawn Holden sighting. Y'all been talking, some of y'all was swearing by Trayshawn Holden. We got us a Trayshawn Holden sighting. Check this catch. Joe Milton, back of the zone. Whoa, one hand grab. Let's watch that again. One hand grab. Nice throw. Yeah, it's nice. Touchdown. Trayshawn Holden in the building. Let's get us another one here. Trayshawn Holden. Got another Trayshawn Holden catch. Trayshawn Holden with his second touchdown of the day. Check him out. Got him. Got him. Yes, sir. Got him. Got us another one. Next one. Oh, yeah. Dak to CD Lamb. Got to make sure we keep this always going. Looks like they're working on the red zone today. Another nice throw by Dak. Got him. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the run? Is that the run Blaine over there? Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him one. All right, we got us another one. Got us another CD Lamb clip. Dak to CD. Let's see. Let's go Dak to CD this time. Nice. Oh! Nice. 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 Got him. Got him, Dak. Yeah, got him. All right, this next one here. Now, y'all going to have to help me out because I don't understand. I don't understand half the stuff these coaches be doing. I don't understand some of this stuff they do to hype them up. I guess they were seeing who could get up first. Oh, okay, they get up and hit each other. Okay. All right, hype me up. Hype me up. They come out every day with something new. Man, I'm gonna get me one of these bucket hats this dude got on, man. We might need to give away a couple of them bucket hats on the channel. Again, y'all gotta help me out, bro. I don't be understanding some of these. I don't be understanding some of these things they doing supposed to get these dudes hyped up. Guys, let me tell you, Kyrie Elam is going to help them really take their time with Trayvon Diggs. This dude has been a problem for these quarterbacks in camp, in particular Dak Prescott. Look at this one right here. Boy, got him another one. Check it out. Boom. Now, if you look at what happens here, let me rewind it. Dak and CD were not on the same page. I think Dak thought he was going to break this off, maybe like stop right here. So Dak throws it when he looks back, but CD keeps running. And that's how Elam got it. So Dak and CD were not on the same page on this. Yeah, that's where this came from. Not on the same page. Elam runs up under it and get it. Great play by Elam. Great play. Ain't your fault if they're not on the same page. I hope you get some other teams. I hope you get the other teams where they're not on the same page. And get us a couple more of those. Poor Kyrie Elam gonna be doing his thing. Okay. And then we got this other man, let me tell you. Marshawn Nealon has been a menace to Dak Prescott in training camp. Y'all remember when Marshawn Nealon got him one early in training camp? Well, got him another one. Check him out. Nealon lining up number 94. Ooh. Nealon, stop it. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me show you. I'm looking at it, not y'all. We're going to fix this in the next couple of days. Let's go. Marshawn Nealon lined up on the outside. Man, Nate Thomas holding his own, too. Look at Nate Thomas. Yeah, that was a bad throw. I think that was a bad read. Must have been good coverage. Yeah, because this play right here, I mean, how you going to get that in? Let me see. I didn't really see any pressure back there. Let me see. Well, I guess you got the spot right there, so Dak tried to hit him right here when he turns around. So Nealon gets his hand up. Okay. But if you notice, looks like Maurice Leafau might have read it. Because he comes over. Look at Maurice. I would like to see that one finished out. All right. Next play. Demarion Overshown getting his coaching gig on. Check out Demarion Overshown. Now he's doing what the coaches are doing. He walking around, greeting all the players. D-Mo, Agent Zero. I see you, D-Mo. Yep. That man D-Mo is a natural born leader. There is no doubt about it. All right, next up, let's see what we got. Joe Milton to Stevens Jr. Check it out. Woo! Nice. I don't know what happened on that one, but the defender is nowhere. That is a blown coverage. Straight up blown coverage. I think that might have been number 38, man. Yeah, he just... something's got mixed up right there. Definitely a blown coverage. All right. Next, we got Dak to Jake Ferguson. The $50 million man. Let's go. $50 million man. Check out old Ferg. Nice throw. Nice throw. Dak might have been sacked on that one, though. Somebody ran from the... Oh, man, he probably would have been sacked in real time. Yeah, that's probably sacked. Whoever that is can't... Bam. Boy, he probably got mauled from back there. Nevertheless, old Fergie Ferg Check out Dak to Ferg. Let's see here. Dak to old Fergie Ferg one more time. Oh no, that was the same one. All right. I'm gonna give you a couple of more, then we're gonna get out of here. Then we got old Jaden Blue. See what he do. This dude's gonna be a big part of the Cowboys offense, I believe. He's gonna be a big part of the Cowboys offense. Check him out. Between them tackles. Man. Now he would have got tackled, but he gonna be a chain mover. Yeah, he gonna be a chain mover. That footwork is crazy. Oh yeah. Man, cannot wait to see this dude run the ball in the regular season. Yeah, he nice. And look at this right here. We got us a Jonathan Mingo sighting. Check it out. Toby better step his game up. Shoot, Mingo look like Deebo Samuel, man. Shoot, hey, that number 20. Shoot, Mingo probably break that tackle. Man, Mingo probably, I don't know. I think that might, was that, who was that out there? Was that Elam? All right, he might have got it. It was going to definitely be a collision, though. Because Mingo is not a small dude. Straight up. He is not a small dude. All right, let's get one more play in. Got old Miles Sanders here, who I believe is going to be the RB1 come opening game. And I think he's going to run all over the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, he nice. Yup. Yeah, I think he gonna be out for blood when he play against the Eagles. All right, let me give y'all this play. I think it's very befitting for the last play. So the Cowboys was out there fighting today. Yeah, they was out there fighting today. So since they were out there fighting, Brian Schottenheimer had them boys running. Check them out. Brian got them boys running. 3 fights today. This reminds me of when I was back in the day playing football, doing stuff like this. Brian is instilling discipline in this team, something that it hasn't had in a long time. Yeah, he's instilling discipline. This is good stuff, man. This good stuff. Yes. That's good stuff, Cowboys family. All right, let me get a few comments in, and we're gonna get out of here. Yeah, that's good stuff, Cowboys family. I'm ready for this preseason game next week to get going. Enough of this OTAs, enough of this training camp stuff, man. Boy, it's time to. I'm ready to go against some other teams. But y'all got me rolling talk about this, man. Rico Jones, what up? C-Bay said they done stole Shotty because I made an observation. Giving that man head the blues, boy. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cowboys so far, but it is now time for the Cowboys to get on the field, man. It is definitely time for them to get on the field. I think we all kind of getting a little weighed down by Miss Matrix. You know what? Miss Matrix said, "Is it me or is this year camp a little lackluster so far?" I'll tell you this. that first Sunday they got to them pads, Miss Matrix, it seemed like everything went downhill from there. For me, it seemed like everything went downhill. Because I don't know what it is. It's like something not quite right. And I do think they're trying to rev them up slowly, Miss Matrix. I think they're trying to rev them up slowly. And I think we'll see what happens when I think we'll see what happens once they start getting to play against some other teams. I think that's when we're gonna start seeing the real stuff. Pure Gaming, he said that was the best catch all training camp. Probably talking about Trayshawn Holden. Yeah. Yo, Trayshawn Holden, man, that was good to see from him. But but you could have been talking about the other catch too, because that catch from George Pickens, that was nice too. That was nice too. Jameson Taylor in the crib, what's going on? Good to see you. Dominique said that was a nasty grab. Boy, y'all crazy. Let's see here. Catherine the Kiss, good night. Let's see here. Yeah, Miss Majors, I don't know. I've been kind of tripping on camp a little bit myself. And to me, ever since they put the pads on, it's like ever since they put the pads on, things got a little sluggish. Because it seemed like the defense for the first few days were getting the best of the offense, but they looked a little bit better today. Ron Hanna, perfect dime, G-man. CD has been eating defense. Oh, man. CD Lamb needs to be fined for what he's been doing to the Dallas Cowboys secondary. He has been killing the Dallas Cowboys secondary. Killing them boys. I mean, just destroying them. He's had a very good camp, man. He's been having a very good camp. Derek G said, if we see another team this year is not on the same page, quarterback and wide receiver, Cowboys defense is going to make him pay this year. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Newhouse fam, Elam is going to redeem himself this season. I totally agree. Kyrie Elam is it. I believe it's also Kyrie Elam that if this dude balls out, he's going to make Trayvon Diggs even more expendable. He'll make Trayvon Diggs even more expendable. I think cornerback going to be top of the list for Cowboys next year in the draft. They got Savon Revel Jr. If they can get Kyrie Elam on a very good contract, man, you go get you another cornerback in the draft, you be good to go. Because I don't know if I'm sold on all the cornerbacks the Cowboys have other than Elam and Deron Bland. I'm not quite feeling the Cowboys cornerback core. Oh, Savon Revel Jr. Don't let me forget that. Other than those three, I'm not really feeling the Cowboys cornerback room. But if Trayvon Diggs could get back to form, the Cowboys could have a very good cornerback room next year. I mean, they really could have they could have a fantastic cornerback room. Even towards the end of this year, if Trayvon Diggs comes back and he's right, shoot, we might get a glimpse of a great cornerback room this season. For sure, we might get a good one. Yeah, Ron Hanna, I'm telling you, Demo is going to be our next Ray Lewis. Yeah, he gonna be our next Ray Lewis for sure. All right, let me get a few more in here. Poobie D, he said, y'all smash that like button. I agree. Boy, y'all crazy. Somebody said Shotty's license was special orders. Boy, y'all stop that. Y'all crazy. C-Base, it's Demo. I think it's more natural for Demo. I think that I think Michael's gonna always be a leader as far as the way he plays. But I think Demo is a leader with the way he plays and just the way he carries himself. C-Base said, I think from a longevity standpoint, Michael can be a leader for now. But Demo is the true leader for personality and character. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing with Demo, we just got to get him on the field. Just got to get him on the field. Ron Hanna said, that's music to my eyes. Hey, let me tell you something, C-Base. I don't know if he's going to beat Tolbert out. But what I do think is he's going to get some reps. I think they're going to be some packages and all kinds of stuff for him. Appreciate you. Good show. Gregor said good show. Yeah, we'll be even better tomorrow. Dude House said he got a storage house full. Boy, he need them. Boy, he need them. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Lisa Worley, what's going on? Lisa, I'm going to try my best to do Cowboys After Dark tonight. Try my best. Boy, y'all killing me. Somebody said Minecraft. Richard Villegas, what up? Brandy Mahoney, what up with you? Lord Nova, 85, what's going on? All right, guys. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. We're going to get on up out of here. Got a couple things got to take care of. Got some new stuff coming here pretty soon, man. I got some, oh, man, going to be some good. Man, we're going to have a great season on Let's Talk Cowboys. I appreciate y'all rocking with me again. Until the next time, Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.